Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we will do predicting Premier League prediction 22-23 season week 26. We're predicting to the outcome of the results this weekend in the Premier League. So without further ado, let's get into the predictions. And the first game is Manchester City versus Newcastle. Man City have been good this season, but they had their moments. Like, they haven't been playing well. They picked up a few losses, especially when they drew to Forest. Anyways, last weekend they bet Bournemouth 4-1 in the league, and they will hopefully continue that good form into the rest of the season. Meanwhile, Newcastle are having a very good season. They are just outside the top four at the moment. They were in the top four for a long time, but they're drawing a lot of games, and it could cost them dearly towards the end of the season. But the family could say any European football for Newcastle at all will be good for the fans. Anyways, and they were good in the League Cup final, but they just lacked the cutting edge up front, and that's why they lost on the day. Anyways, what do I think the score between Man City and Newcastle will be this weekend? I think that Man City will win this game, but I don't think they'll run away with it. So I'm going to say Man City 2, Newcastle 0. And the next game to review is Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Arsenal are having a wonderful season, top of the league, playing great football. They are just flying. No one expected Arsenal to be this good, not even me or the rest of them. They're surprised. They won last night against Everton, which was very good. They're 5 points ahead in the title, and they still think have a game in hand as well over Man City. Meanwhile, Bournemouth lost to Man City last week. They're in the relegation, so I expect them to just stay there to the end of the season. But they just don't look like score goals, plus they just can't defend. But they did get a good win against Wolves a couple of weeks ago. Anyways, what do I think of the outcome of this game? I'm sorry, but Arsenal will run away with this. I can see Arsenal winning this game 4-0. And the next game to predict and preview is Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. Villa got a good win against Everton last week. Since Emery's come in, he's made the team more solid defensively and look more organised. Meanwhile, for Palace, they should have bet Liverpool the last day. I don't know how they didn't beat Liverpool, but they didn't. If they just knew how to, if Mateta just knew how to put the ball in the back of the net, they would have won that game comfortably. But I worry for Palace because they're not scoring enough goals. They're not taking their chances when they come to them. But I don't think they'll go down. I think they'll just have enough to survive. So, what do I think the outcome for this game will be? I think that Aston Villa will win this game, but I'm just going to say that Aston Villa will win this game 2-1 against Crystal Palace. And the next game to predict and review is Brighton versus West Ham. Brighton are having a wonderful season, bringing in great players. Their skirting academy, everything from top to bottom at their club has been absolutely brilliant this season. Picking players up like Matoma and Connolly from the academy and McAllister, a World Cup winner. Who the fuck we say that a couple of months ago? They've got great. They know how they spend well and they skirt well. Well, West Ham. They were good enough against Man United in the FA Cup last night, but they just threw it away at the end. But they did get a good win against Forest, but I didn't expect them to win 4-0 against Nottingham Forest. West Ham are in that relegation battle, but I do expect them to get out of it because I just think they're too good to go down. They've got players such as Rice, Bowen, Antonio, Samaka, Suchek, and all those other type of players. Anyways, what do I think the score prediction between this game? I'm saying Brighton will win this game, but I'm going to say Brighton 2, West Ham 1. And the next game to review is scoreless Chelsea versus Leeds United. Chelsea. What could we say about Chelsea? They can't score a goal to save themselves. I don't know how Potter hasn't been sacked. I will never know. They can't score. They just don't create enough chances. Plus, they don't have a number 9. They have a Bammy, but they're not using them. Anyways, I don't think Bamiyang's not the player he used to be anyways. But they've had to find something soon. Surely they have to sack Potter at some point, but you know they're top bullies, like the owners, Chelsea. They probably back them until it goes really, really bad. We were Leeds. They got thumped against Fulham in the FA Cup, but they did get a big one against Southampton just last weekend to boost their chances of survival. Do I think they'll survive in the Premier League? It'll be tight, but I'm not sure. I might say they'll just survive, but I'm not that confident they will. Anyways, what do I think the score between Chelsea and Leeds? I think that Chelsea's season is just going to get worse and worse and worse. Here's my bold prediction of the week. Maybe not surprising with how Chelsea, but it is surprising in some way. I'm saying that Chelsea will not score, but I think Leeds will go to Stamford Bridge and win 2-0. I just think that Chelsea's goal form will still continue, and I don't think it'll be any longer before Potter does get the boot. Okay, we are just nearly okay. And the next game to predict and review is Wolves versus Tottenham. Wolves last night against Liverpool, they were good in the first part. Ultimately, they were just take the chance out, and Liverpool just scored the 2 goals and probably deserved to win in the end. But Wolves have improved a lot since they got the new manager, Lopetegui. They're more structured defensively, they flow better, the midfield's better, and they just play better football. Defence is always going to be the problem is always with Wolves is they don't score enough goals. But when Lopetegui comes out, I think they'll be fine, and I think they'll be safe for another season. Tottenham, in the meanwhile, are just Tottenham. 1 week they beat Man City 1-0. Next week, they go to Leicester and lose 4-1. Another week, they beat Chelsea 2-0. And then what did they do last night? Lose 1-0 to Sheffield United in the Cup. Tottenham are so Tottenham. They're so unpredictable. 1 week they turn up, 1 week they don't. So, what do I think the prediction between Wolves and Tottenham this week? I am going to say that it's going to finish at Desmond. I'm going to say Wolves 2, Tottenham 2. And the next game to predict and review is Southampton versus Leicester City. Southampton got a shock cup exit to Grimsby Town of all people. Fair play to Grimsby for getting to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Absolutely brilliant. Their cup journey continued, but anyways, let's talk more about Southampton. Southampton, since they sacked Nathan Jones, I don't know, it was a right decision. I don't know what he was thinking during those interviews when he was at the club. They got a big one against Chelsea, but anyways, anyone could beat Chelsea these days. They can't score anyways. And then last week, they narrowly lost to Leeds 1-0, but they do have a better chance of surviving, in my opinion, staying up. And they have this caretaker manager taking over to the NC. Do I think they'll survive? They might survive, but I'm just going to say no for now. Meanwhile, Leicester City it's not been a great city for Leicester City as well. They got embarrassed in the FA Cup against Blackburn last night of all teams, and I'm still amazed that Brendan Rodgers is still Leicester City manager. He should have went a couple. Apparently, they can't. They just don't want to sack him because they have to give him a lot of compensation, which they're not willing to do. Anyways, and players like the only good player they had to rely on Madison a lot, which is not good. Anyways, I think they'll survive. But anyways, what do I think the score projection between Southampton and Leicester will be? I will say that Southampton and Leicester will finish in a 1-1 draw, and hopefully it's a 1-1 draw. And the next game to predict and review is Nottingham Forest versus Everton. Forest got thumped at West Ham 4-0 last week. They were in a quite decent run. They're starting to gel. They're starting to be better. And I do think they'll survive the Premier League. But be honest, you can't be losing 4-0 to West Ham. Just not on. And they've made a couple of good signings, but especially Navas. Everton, the realize there's no surprise they lost 4-0 to Arsenal. Arsenal are just unstoppable this season. Not many teams can stop them. Well, Everton did stop at their home, but Everton is a different kettle of fish. It's harder to go to. It's harder to win the Emirates than in the Goodison. Anyways, what do I think the score projection between this game will be? I will say that Forest will get a narrow 1-0 win against Everton. I'm not confident, but I do think that Forest and Everton might go down this season if things don't improve. But they do have Sean Dyson chart that doesn't give them a better chance of surviving up. And the next game, and it's the biggest game of the week. It's I know what the derby's called. It's Liverpool versus Manchester City. Now, Liverpool is my club. And we got a good win against Wolves last night, but our season has just been awful. Our midfield is so old. The defence is terrible. Players are not showing up. Players are not putting the effort in. It's 2023, and we have James Milner and Jordan Henderson in our midfield. The lack of investment in that midfield has been ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We still even have a chance of getting top four because other teams are on the top are stepping up every week, but we're not capitalising on that. Meanwhile, Manchester United, what a job Ten Hag's done since he's come into the club. The early stages, you would have thought that it's going to be the same old United saying that, but not since those bad results. He's turned that club around. He's changed the mentality of the club, the players. He's made he's proved every single player since he's joined that club, from the goalkeeper to the striker. And probably Casemiro, it has to be one of the signings of the season. And everybody thought that was a panic buy. It's probably the best panic buy of all time. Yeah, if you're asking me. Anyways, what do I think about this game? Outcomes of this game? I don't know. Man United are in good form, but the record at Anfield is not the best. So I am going to say that I can't believe I'll be saying this. I'm going to say that Manchester United will go to Anfield and win 3-1 against Liverpool. I just don't have enough confidence about it, but hopefully I'm wrong in that prediction. And the last game to predict and preview before we end this video is Brentford versus Fulham. Both of these teams are having brilliant seasons. Now, I predicted Fulham to get relegated. Look where they are now. Laughing all the way to the bank after I made that horrible prediction. I'm not the only one. Just that, Brentford. I admire Brentford. I like the club from top to bottom. They're producing great players and the good team Spurs, and they're having a great season. They even could get European football, both of these teams. And I think if they do get it, they deserve it. Anyways, but the big worry for Brentford is Tony could get a lengthy ban after those betting allegations. And there's rumours that he could be banned for 6 months if he's found guilty of these allegations. Well, he had been guilty before, but no, that's a match ban perspective. Fulham are just Mitrovic is on fire. Every player buying good quality players. I think they've learned from the past what they've done wrong, and they're learning and learning all the time about staying in the Premier League. They're going to stay by the miles, anyways. Anyways, what do I think the score between Brentford and Fulham will be? I think that it will be a close game, but I'm just going to fancy the home team 2-1 to Brentford. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my Premier League prediction videos this week. If you do like this video and you want to see other videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Hopefully, we'll see you for another Premier League prediction video very soon. For now, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from you, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Goodbye.